Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into the world of high-resolution gaming to help you find the best graphics card for your 1440p gaming setup. Whether you're looking to upgrade your current rig or building a new one from scratch, getting the right GPU is crucial for that perfect balance between performance and graphics quality. We'll be comparing some of the top contenders on the market, looking at their performance in the latest games, and helping you decide which one offers the best value for your 1440p gaming needs. So, let's get started and find out which GPU is the ultimate champion for 1440p gaming. Number 5. Intel Arc A770. I'm wrapping up my Intel Arc A770 review as we speak, so it'll be a little while longer before I can formally pronounce a verdict on the A770, but there's no denying that the card has decent 1440p chops, even if it's not the best there is on the market. The biggest draw for this card honestly is going to be its price and its strong upscaling technology, Intel CSS, which uses hardware AI cores to process frames faster than the software solution AMD uses. Intel CSS isn't as good as Nvidia DLSS, but it's surprisingly powerful, and on games that support it, you're going to like what you see, including a roughly 38% better frame rate when using ray tracing at 1440p. In terms of pure rasterization, the A770 averaged 61 frames per second at 1440p across the games I tested, which definitely makes the card easy to recommend. And, with 16 GB VRAM at your disposal, 4K gaming with settings tweaks isn't out of the question, especially with more modest titles where the graphical demands on the shader cores aren't as high. I'm looking at you, Cyberpunk 2077. While this card is more marketed toward 1080p gamers, where it also excels, you're going to get more than enough 1440p performance from the A770 under typical conditions, and for the price, it's hard to beat. It might be somewhat hard to find now that Intel has discontinued the limited edition first-party cards as the company's graphics group pivots to its next-gen Battlemage GPUs, but there are still plenty of Arc A770s online, especially from third-party partners like Ashrock and Acer. For updated price and more details, check out the links given in the description. Number 4. AMD Radeon RX 6800. With the AMD Radeon RX 6800, Team Red proved that it could compete not just in the budget and mid-range markets, but on the premium side as well. In particular, it gives its direct rival, the Nvidia GeForce RTX 3070, a run for its money in both performance and value. We were not only impressed by its thermal efficiency and low power consumption, but by its feature set, which includes Radeon Boost for competitive gamers looking for an edge, as well as Smart Access Memory, which allows you to boost performance when paired with certain AMD CPUs, though you have to go into the BIOS of your computer for that. Of course, the RX 6800's performance is on point. Though it can handle 4K gaming, the RX 6800 shines most at 1440p when ray tracing has been enabled. For updated price and more details, check out the links given in the description. Number 3. Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060Ti. The Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060Ti is a very powerful GPU, bridging the gap between 1440p and 4K gaming. It can dabble in that higher resolution for some games, though we found it to struggle a little bit when pushed. But, when it comes to 1440p, the RTX 3060Ti is rock solid. Now that ray tracing has been around for a couple of generations, the 3060Ti does an excellent job of implementing it without too many hits to the performance. While a superb graphics card, and probably more than what most people looking at gaming in 1440p need, it's not perfect as it comes with an annoying 12-pin power connector that's not standard. But, you do get an 8-pin adapter. On the plus side, this GPU stays much cooler than its predecessors when running graphically intensive tasks. For updated price and more details, check out the links given in the description. Number 2. AMD Radeon RX 6750 XT. Believe it or not, I'm still working on our full AMD Radeon RX 6750 XT review. I'm going for the full last-gen completion achievement. But with all the latest gen cards dropping over the past few months, I've actually put more time in with the RX 6750 XT than I would have if I had just reviewed it, and I have to say, the performance on this card is pretty spectacular. It has its limitations, to be fair, and mostly that comes in the form of lagging ray tracing performance, something that plagued the entire RDNA 2 generation. But for pure rasterization performance at 1440p, the RX 6750 XT is one hell of a contender. If you don't factor in ray tracing or upscaling tech, the RX 6750 XT is able to easily clear 80 frames per second on maximum settings at 1440p on average. This puts it even ahead of the Nvidia RTX 3070. Of course, once you turn on ray tracing, that all changes, with the RX 6750 XT averaging about 32 frames per second at 1440p with max settings, compared to the RTX 3070's 47 frames per second average over the same test suite. AMD FSR helps close the gap with an average of 52 FPS with root turned on and FSR set to performance. The RTX 3070, meanwhile, pumps out 68 frames per second with DLSS set to performance and RT turned on. And while the Nvidia RTX 4060 Ti has much better ray tracing and upscaling performance, the RX 6750 XT manages to beat Nvidia's mid-range GPU pretty handily in pure rastered gaming performance, 82 frames per second to 73 frames per second on average. We'll have more when we formally review the card in the next few weeks, but given everything I've seen, you definitely don't want to sleep on this card, especially now that its price has dropped considerably now that AMD RDNA 3 and Nvidia Lovelace cards are on the market. For updated price and more details, check out the links given in the description. Number 1. Nvidia GeForce RTX 4070. The Nvidia RTX 4070 follows up one of the best graphics cards of all time, the RTX 3070, and improves on its predecessor in just about every conceivable way. From gaming performance to synthetic benchmarks, I extensively pushed these two cards to their limits, and found that at times the RTX 4070 was running 40% ahead of its predecessor in several games, though ultimately the RTX 4070's magic balanced out to an average performance gain of about 21%. And, despite the 20% increase in price over the previous generation's RTX 3070 MSRP, the RTX 4070 performs so well that you can only shrug. With gaming performance at every resolution capable of going toe-to-toe with the Nvidia RTX 3080 and RTX 30870 Ti, the latter card featuring an MSRP double that of the RTX 4070's. There's just no question that this is the best graphics card for most people on the market right now. For updated price and more details, check out the links given in the description. And there you have it, our comprehensive guide to the top 5 GPUs for 1440p gaming. Each of these cards brings something unique to the table, and we hope this breakdown helps you make a more informed decision on which GPU is right for your gaming needs. For updated prices and further details, be sure to check out the links in the video description below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this video helpful, and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth reviews and tech insights. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us keep bringing you the content you love. Happy gaming, and we'll see you in the next video.